The passenger train heaved to a stop at Hazard Station. Coal smoke from its stack silted the muggy air. Leslie Bruin took his cap from his knee and his travel bag from beneath his seat, tucking the former over a crop of wavy hair and the latter over a ride-sore shoulder. The train car, sleepy throughout the trek from Louisville, now bustled, girls laughing, bags thumping floorboards, the cigarette man calling out to disembarking passengers. Leslie traded a quarter for 2 packs as he stepped onto the platform. The end of summer heat hadn't cracked in the eastern counties, and a small crowd loitered in the station house shade eyeing the new arrivals. Porters offloading luggage hollered directions down platform. With a sigh, Leslie turned toward the clamor to rescue his saddlebags. "Miss Bruin," called a tall, sun-worn gentleman across the way. Miss was far from his preferred form of address, but Leslie painted on a smile regardless as he recognized the speaker. "Good to meet you again, Mr. Hansel." "Jackson is fine, ma'am," he said, convivial grin creasing his face. "There's a car ready to drop us at the travel post. You need any refreshment before we hit the road? I could use a sip of water once I've collected the bags. Shall we?" Leslie gestured to the porters. "Don't worry yourself. I'll carry those," Hansel said. The nurses of the Frontier Service had no trouble lugging around their supplies, or else how would the work get done? But rather than kicking up a fuss, Leslie smiled and nodded, amiable, businesslike. Hansel returned the sentiment with a tap to the brim of his hat and set off to make himself useful. A squat, glittering geode propped open the station house door. The stenciled glass announced, "Whites Only." South of the Ohio River, those signs fruited like fungus on rotten wood. At least a quarter of the ladies whose drinks he'd stood while traipsing across Chicago on leave would be banned from stepping over the threshold. But in need of a piss and a cold drink, he crossed unimpeded. A ceiling fan stirred stale air. The solitary girl at the counter squinted at his trousers and cotton shirt, then said, "Good afternoon, nurse." "Am I so obvious?" Leslie asked. She rolled her eyes. "Would any other woman wear pants and boots in this weather?" "Then I'm caught out," he said. "A soda, please?" "Coming right up." As she bent to open the refrigerator, the loose collar of her shirt flashed silk brassiere and cleavage. Leslie stuffed his hands in his pockets, wrenching his gaze away. The clerk sat a perspiring bottle of Coca-Cola on the countertop. He swigged a mouthful of syrupy fizz, and she watched silently with arms crossed under her breasts. In a city whose rules he understood, he might have chatted to her. But out here, the risks outweighed the rewards considerably.